Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video, you're going to learn how to set your settings for your classes and your courses. So let's get started. First, you want to click on the menu icon on the top right of the screen, the three horizontal lines next to the global search. And you're going to click on Settings. Then you're going to click on the Bookings tab. So here we see our class settings. First, we have class bookings are enabled. You want to make sure that this is clicked on. Next, we have clients can book 0 additional friends per event. This is what we call our Book a Buddy feature here at Glofox. This is intended for your members to be able to book a family member or friend who is not in the system to attend a class that they are taking. So for example, if I put this up to 2, the member can book 2 additional people onto the class that they are taking. Just a quick note on how the Book a Buddy works. If I am a pay-as-you-go member, I will be charged for my booking plus the 2 additional bookings. So if the drop-in price is 10, I will be charged 30. If I have credits, I will be charged a credit per booking, so 1 for myself and an extra 2 for the additional 2 people. So I'd be charged a total of 3 credits. If I am on an unlimited membership, I will not be charged anything extra. So just keep that in mind. Then we have the cancellation window. So many of you require your members to cancel a certain amount of time before the class starts. So if we have it set to 1, if there's a class at 6 o'clock tonight, members must cancel by 5 o'clock. We also have the late cancellation function here. So if we take the example of having to cancel by 5 and you do not have late cancellations turned on, then your members will not be able to cancel themselves out of the class. They will have to call either you or the trainer to cancel them out of the class for them. If you turn on late cancellations are enabled, then the members will be able to cancel themselves in between that 5 and 6 o'clock period as per my example. Then we have this function allow bookings to be made anytime, or the alternative, allow bookings within a certain amount of time before the class starts. What this means is the following. If we look at the bottom of the screen here, where the timetable displays 2 weeks of classes. So I can see 2 weeks of classes, but I can only book classes that appear in the next 48 hours. Or if I put this up to 168 hours, that means I can book any class from today and the next 7 days, 168 hours, but I cannot book anything after that, even though I can see further into the future. Some studios turn this on because they do not want their members booking very far in advance. The classes book up very quickly, and they didn't want people just to book on and not turn up because they forgot about their booking. Allow bookings to be made anytime just means that they can book whatever they can see. Then we have our close booking window function here. Allow bookings until the class starts. So if we take our 6 o'clock class example, a member can book the class at 5:59. Some of you out there might want your trainers or yourselves to have notice of the bookings, so you might close off the booking a certain amount of time before the class starts. So for example, if I set this to 3 o'clock, to 3 hours, then for the 6 o'clock example, members would have to book by 3 o'clock. Otherwise, you can book them in between 3 and 6 if they call and ask. The next function here, setting, is the allow a member to make unlimited bookings. So in Glofox, unlimited memberships mean that a member can make essentially an infinite amount of bookings. But if you want to restrict even your unlimited members from making too many bookings, or any member, so you can limit how many bookings they can make per day, per week, per month, or year. The most common restriction that we see is maybe setting it to 2 bookings per day, 10 bookings per week, but most studios do keep this on unless it becomes a problem. Then you can turn on whether or not you want your members to see the total capacity of the class. You could turn on if you want your members to see how many spaces are left in the class. You can also list the members booked in for this class and make that public. However, most people do keep this off for privacy reasons. And this is something that we're going to be phasing out anyway. The last function here is allow staff to overbook fully booked classes. So for some of you out there, you might have extra space available for classes that are at capacity. So if you do have that extra space and a drop-in comes in, or one of your members would like to take the class, one of your staff can overbook the class. You can also set how far into the future your members can see. So that can be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and that's really just left up to you. Please note that changing this timetable display also affects how far into the future you could see on your dashboard calendar. Just below that, we have the waiting list. So some of you might want to have a waiting list for your classes that are at capacity. And there are 2 ways how you can manage the wait list. The first way here, with the toggle to the left and gray, will notify all 5 members via an email or push notification that a spot has opened up, and then it's first come, first serve. The person who's most quick will book themselves into the class. The other 4 people will get a notification that the slot has been taken. We usually recommend this way of managing the waiting list, especially if you do drop-in clients and you sell class packs. If the only thing that you do is unlimited memberships, then the alternative way to manage the waiting list is then recommended. So this will book the first person of the 5 automatically when the slot opens up, and they get a notification. But again, we usually recommend this way here because most of you out there do drop-in clients and credit packs. Just below there, now we have the only settings that we have for courses, and that's whether or not you're going to have course bookings enabled. And the only extra function here is the Book a Buddy feature. So again, it works similarly to the classes above. So one of your members can book a family member or a friend onto a course that they are doing. Please note that no credits can be used for courses, so the member would most likely be paying for the course, extra course space from their profile. Last but not least, just want to go over to the Members tab here and go down to the Cancellation Policy. So in the Booking tab, we set our cancellation policy to 1 hour before the event. So you can set what happens when a member cancels responsibly. That is, they do not late cancel. So they cancel by, in the example, 5 o'clock. So if a member cancels by 5 o'clock for the 6 o'clock class, in my example, you can choose whether or not they will get credit back for the class that they have booked and canceled. So a drop-in client would get a credit, and the person with a credit pack would get the credit back. The unlimited member wouldn't get anything back because, again, they have infinite amount of bookings. So you can choose whether or not the credit that they get back is available to be used for any class, just the same class that they booked into, or a class of the same category. And you can choose by when they have to use this extra credit. So ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the end of the class and course settings. For further instruction on the rest of the settings, please make sure to watch our further videos. See you then.